Ganabelt was so horrible to people. Yet he was invested in helping Rena succeed. Doesn't that seem just a little inconsistent?
I'm perhaps biased in this matter, I admit. However, in my mind, while all lords vie to become the next sovereign, they're also meant to serve as guardians of all of Rena.
It seems like Ganabelt also had people he cared about until the very end.
So why couldn't he extend that to us Danans?
Everything will be okay now.
I know the basics of healing arts, but my skills pale in comparison.
This area doesn't look as badly damaged as that other district we went through.
Indeed. The effects of Lenegis' transformation appear to be less pronounced here. Or, viewed another way,
Pardon me.
I guess her willingness to stoop to any low came from a survival of the fittest worldview.
And some people here not only shared her belief, but championed it as morally right, too.
That doesn't make it true. Too bad they couldn't see through her.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Okay.
It seems like the people on Lenegis don't really know much about Volron either.
I remember being quite surprised when the Lord of Ganath Haros changed so abruptly.
Didn't you have any doubts that something suspicious was going on?
On the contrary. Remember, we Renans are raised to accept everything at face value.
When you think about it, the families of Renan lords must see them differently than the rest of us.
Yeah, despite the brutality they're known for.
They must have had a lot on their shoulders, carrying all the weight and responsibilities of Renan society.
Renans live in a world where strength and power determine their position in the social hierarchy, so they tend to grow up fiercely competitive. But their loyalty to their people is also strong. It's what brings them together against outside forces, and nothing exemplifies that more than the Lords.
That's what makes them the guardians of all of Rena, so to speak.
Right. It's the same reason Balsif hated my guts, and Ganabelt went after you. Because we're threats to Rena.
Guess that makes you an even bigger oddball than we thought.
So, Alphen, have you gained anything from all of this?
Yeah. I think it's made me realize that the Lords were all people, too. Falstafr and the others, they all had their own circumstances to deal with as they went through life.
Yeah, but still, just because they had loved ones in their lives doesn't mean...
I know. What they did was horrible. I'm not trying to dispute that. But at the same time, they weren't incomprehensible monsters either. They were individuals, just like the rest of us. So I guess what I'm trying to say is...
You're saying that they weren't bad because they were Renans, or because they were terrible monsters. Even if they did terrible things, they were still just people.
Rinwell.
Am I wrong?
Not at all.
Being a Dahnan doesn't make you a good person. And being a Renan doesn't make you a bad one. I think that's something we've all seen.
Shionne and Dohalim definitely make a good case for it.
And I'm going to keep doing my best to make sure I earn that trust. As a fellow human being above all else.
I'll hold on to that.
There's something I just don't get.
What is it?
The crown contest itself has always gone ahead as planned, right? In which case, the current Sovereign of Rena should be whoever it was that won the previous contest.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, who was it then?
Hanfrikt Milgras, the former Lord of Cyslodia, if memory serves.
So then this Hanfrikt whatchamacallem, he's the current ruler of Rena?
The last I heard, yes. Though, admittedly, I haven't actually seen him since the end of the previous contest.
You're saying that ever since becoming Sovereign, he's never actually shown himself on Lenegus?
I guess over holocom maybe, but not in the flesh. Same thing goes for the Sovereign that came before him.
Now that you mention it, I don't recall anyone ever visiting Lenegus from the motherland, sovereign or otherwise.
And that never struck you as a little bit odd?
When you live here, it's as if you're conditioned not to notice all these strange quirks and discrepancies. The question is then, by whom? And to what end?
A new Renis Alma is supposedly created to coincide with every crown contest, meaning each victor is awarded their very own. In other words, if that's true, there should be as many of the things out there as there have been contests.
True, but going on what we witnessed in Pelegion, it didn't look like the sort of thing that could be made to order. But if even the victor's speeches have been part of some grand deception, then where are they? Quite frankly, I'm not even sure what to believe anymore.
You and me both. Though we are Renan by blood, neither of us even knew that such a thing as a Dark Master Corps existed, remember?
With any luck, the Forbidden Zone might give us some answers.
No use standing around here chatting about it then. Let's get a move on.
Doe?
Faria.
Varia? Isn't that the person that Avakir guy was...
But why are you here? Wait. Don't tell me you've given up on the crown contest and come crawling back home from Dahna already. Nothing to say? Even though you were willing to kill Tarnagin to secure your position as Lord, you still...
Kill?
I'm here to take care of something. If you wish to continue this conversation, I only ask that you wait until I'm finished.
Oh, of course. You always did prefer to take the coward's way out. Even after 7 years and living on that Dahnan rock, you haven't changed one bit. But let me tell you, I haven't changed either. Not a day's gone by the past 7 years that I haven't hated you.
If killing me will bring you peace, then so be it.
Dohalim, what the hell are you saying?
First, I have business to take care of. If it's vengeance you seek, I will grant you it. But you must wait. My sins are legion. Let me finish what I came to do. Then you have my word. I will let you do whatever brings you peace.
Sure, that's it. Run away like always. You don't even have the courage to die. No wonder you leave it to someone else. You're just a coward!
Dohalim.
I apologize that you had to witness that.
Is it true? What she said about you killing someone?
Each of us have our pasts. I am no exception.
Before, back in Menancia, you mentioned having taken a friend's life over the throne. Is that what she meant?
The mistakes I made there were not my first, and may not be my last. I will say no more.
Did you mean what you said? About letting her take your life if she wanted to?
She has more right to my life than anyone.
But you can't just...
Whatever happens, I have sworn to put an end to the crown contest, and to ensure continued coexistence in Menancia. I have no intention of expiring before I do so. There are far too many questions I still seek answers to. Besides, you have just as much reason to kill me as she does.
Dohalim!
Forgive me. Some things are best left unsaid.
Wow, this place is beautiful!
Yeah, it must be some sort of rest and leisure area for the locals.
You think? Man, these Renan sure know how to live it up, don't they?
Is something the matter, Dohalim?
Before I went down to Dana, my friends and I, we used to gather at this very spot and play music together. Avakir, Faria, and Tarnagin. That was a lifetime ago now.
Tarnagin. He was the one that Faria mentioned, right?
He was once my dearest, closest friend, as well as Faria's betrothed. Despite Faria's lower-class upbringing, she possesses a tremendous talent for music. Entranced by her playing, I helped her overcome her sense of inferiority and introduced her to Tarnagin and Avakir. It was a time of great joy. 4 people bound only by their love of music, with no care for social standing. Only the next song, the next melody.
A friendship based on mutual respect, and a society where everyone is a prisoner to their social class. You really are different, Dohalim.
I suppose it's natural you would see it as strange.
I would have, once. Now, I think the idea of breaking away from society's constraints and choosing your friends based solely on affection is something beautiful that's worth cherishing. Besides, it was that way of looking at the world that laid the foundations for coexistence in Menancia.
Your praise does me too great an honor. I was merely following the wishes of my own heart. And even then, it only lasted until the crown contest began. After that, Tarnagin and I became fierce competitors for the position of Lord. Tarnagin had fallen for Faria. By becoming Lord, he aimed to wrest her from her humble origins and raise her to the highest echelons of society. But fate was not so benevolent.
What happened?
Tarnagin was no match for me in combat. On a level playing field, he wouldn't have stood a chance. But he was desperate and low on options, and he couldn't stand the thought of defeat.
You mean he resorted to dirty tactics to try to win, right? But then why does Faria think... Wait, don't tell me she doesn't know.
How could I tell her? Combined with the trauma of losing her beloved, and by her friend's hand, no less, she would have been devastated.
So instead you let her go on hating you, so she could use that hate as a crutch for her grief?
That's not the same as running away, though.
It is exactly the same. Unable to face the loss of my friend and the burden of my duty, instead I decried my fate and looked away from what I'd done. As for what happened after, that you already know.
But if you hadn't become Lord, Menancia wouldn't be what it is now. The Dahnans there would still be suffering under Renan oppression like before.
Shion's right. What other lord would have treated me as you did? Anyone else and I would have been dead long ago. You've saved so many people, Dohalim. You saved me. It's thanks to you that I'm here today. So, try not to blame yourself. The burden you've placed on your own shoulders is too much for anyone to bear.
Frank as always. But I shall do my best to heed your advice.
Do you think he'll be all right?
Yeah, I think so. He's got Kisara.
It's important to have someone like that.
I didn't realize how difficult it is just to be there for someone.
Sometimes just knowing someone's on your side can be enough. And he knows, Shion. I promise he does.
I hope you're right. Alphen.
Yeah?
I never appreciated until recently just how much you were always there to support me.
It goes both ways. You've helped me keep going more times than I can count.
Maybe, but I still wanted to say thank you. Ugh.
I see a medic and supply officer over there. If they know you're with me, they'll likely offer their assistance.
Have you guys checked? Your equipment lately?
Thanks for waiting. Eat as much as you like.
Damn it! Lenegis soldiers!
Any way we can avoid fighting them?
That all depends on them. Whatever happens, be ready.
Well, so much for them not wanting to fight.
Ho! I am Lord Dohalim of Elder Menancia. I command you.
The rest of the city must be erased.
No. Have they been brainwashed too?
Brainwashed or not, if they want to fight, they got one.
It's almost too strong.
Split it up!
Be like it!
Bloody howling!
Burn! Swallow blade! On the demon gas!
The enemy wields arts too.
You'll soon see about that.
Annihilation!
Mega Ray!
Soaring light spear! Crush! Demon fang!
Deity!
Get it! Release! Charge with the earth! No! Okay! Swallow blade! Double demon fang!
In a bind! Fire support! Elusive deity! Rotating pile driver!
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Armor won't save you!
My shield! You picked the wrong
Bring you
fight!
down.
You're mine! Double demon fang!
Demon wrath! Let me free you of your power!
Here goes!
Radiant light! Force of regeneration! Being interrupted!
You're mine! Double demon fang! Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
Oh, violent guardian.
Smite with blackened blade!
Those soldiers seem different from the citizens we've come across so far.
Yeah, they weren't big talkers, that's for sure. They just attacked without warning.
They weren't in the least bit fazed by Dohalim's presence either.
Indeed. They seem to recognize us as enemies, nothing more. And yet, traditionally, Lenegis hasn't been high on threats. A few frenzied Zeugles during experiments here and there, but not much else.
Their glazed-over eyes reminded me of the soldiers and slaves we met back in Ganath Haros. The ones in blind devotion to Volron.
I've never seen anything like that here on Lenegis before.
Maybe someone doesn't want us here, and the soldiers are their way of letting us know.
What with the Red Woman, the Sovereign, and Volron, we're starting to develop quite the growing list of adversaries.
feeling about this.
Bathed in blood, rending your bloody howling! Prepare to be sealed! No dawn shall break this night! Reflect on thy state. They smite with blackened blade! Leave the ensnaring to me. Yeah! And tumbling to me!
Gemini Aqua!
Demon Lash!
Here goes!
Everlasting Shock!
Here goes! Oh, violent darting wind!
In a bind?
Now, through all!
Can you take it?
Away!
Bathe.
I'll be saving this one!
Shine! Radiant light!
Thunderblade! Now for something
No
special!
dawn shall break this night!
Holy Land! Radiant Pierce!
Soaring blast!
Lightning! Glacial Spear! Illuminate evil!
Not so fast!
Holy Land! Where are you going?
Dragon Swarm!
Everlasting Shock!
Radiant
Demon
Spear!
Lash!
I'm out of ammo! Watch them! Shining
you're mine! Demon Lash!
Shockwave Blast!
No dawn!
Burning Strike!
Small, but a victory nonetheless.
We have a long way yet to go.
This won't be easy.
Reflect on that.
Don't be such a
They
pessimist.
smite with blackened blade!
Try this!
Execution!
I can't let the hatred consume me.
I see what you apart! Bloody howling!
Glacial Spear! Pierce evil!
You require a hand.
Freeze Lancer! Charge Malevolent!
Everlasting Shock!
We're not finished!
Illumination!
In an instant! Impact Clock!
I'm ready for the next battle. This won't be easy. Don't be such a
No
pessimist.
further! I'll face you! Force of regeneration!
If you won't bow out nice, then you leave me no choice.
No dawn shall break this night!
Saving Pierce, I'm ready.
Soaring
Concentration!
blast!
I can do this all day.
Win!
Freeze Lancer! In the wind!
Rending you bloody howling!
Rising Wind!
Mine!
Hurricane Flood! Damn it! Too fast!
Stand back! I'll trip it up! No dawn shall break this night! Everlasting Shock! Demon Lash!
Abort!
Mission!
Double Demon Fang!
Everlasting Shock!
Demon Fang!
Lash!
Can
you take it? You're mine!
Torch Shield! Gemini Aqua!
Demon Lash!
Mega Ray!
No dawn shall break this night! Now onward! Blood!
Wind Astral Energy!
No dawn
dawn shall break this night.
Now!
Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
With this, I can become even stronger.
This won't be easy.
Don't be such a pessimist.
Now you'll learn! No dawn shall break this night!
How long are we gonna keep this up for exactly?
You've got the fury! Tearing you apart! You're mine! Bloody howling! Reflect on thy sin. They smite with blackened blade! This one's mine!
Myself together. More for the vampire.
Execution! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno! Chill!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Mega Ray!
Breathing you a bloody howling!
I never fit! Do it!
Rinwell! Light burst forth!
Radiant Genesis!
Seems about right to me. Those soldiers don't seem to have any qualms about attacking on sight.
Is someone making them stand guard over the Forbidden Zone? This one will be difficult to predict. Scream, bathed in blood. Rending you a bloody hole! Now we'll never... Everlasting dawn! No dawn shall break this night! In a bind?
To be let free!
No dawn shall break this night!
Sonic Thrust! Soaring Light Sphere! This one keeps charging us!
That's what my shield's for. Get behind me.
Got it! I'll leave it to you!
Bathed in blood. Rending you a bloody hole!
This one's all mine! Phoenix!
Sealed!
Reflect on thy sin. They smite with blackened blade!
Here I come!
If it's in the sky, it's mine!
Execution!
Here!
Eternal devastation!
Everlasting dust!
I'll burn it all! Flaming pillar! Fire! Here I come! Swordblade Alpha!
Everlasting dust! Take this!
Hear my call!
No further!
Burn in hell!
Here comes Spread! It's glacial steel! Here's the ear!
Everlasting dust!
Freeze!
Even less!
Freeze!
No dawn shall break this night!
Demon Fang!
Glacial spear! Here's the evil! Spread!
Armor won't save you!
Freeze laser!
Rising Warrior! Dazzle!
Thou art being interrupted! Reflect on thy sin!
Hurricane
They
Thrust!
smite with blackened blade! Another incantation ruined!
Glacial spear! Here's the evil! Go get it! Freeze laser!
Execution!
Here's the healing art!
Everlasting dust! No dawn shall break this night!
Demon Fang!
Again!
Double Demon Fang!
Eagle Ray!
Undead power of flame!
burst forth!
Radiant Genesis!
We won.
I've got a really bad feeling about this.
This one's mine!
In here!
Not today!
Scream bathed in blood, rending you a bloody hole! Reflect on my spirit! They smite with blackened blade!
More for the stockpile!
Execution!
Right here! Here's evil! I'll be saving this one! Freeze Lancer!
Demon Lash! No dawn shall break this night! Soaring blast!
Falcon! Astral Energy!
Say no more.
Eagle Ray! Right back! Can't get out of this!
Not on my watch! Annihilation! Mega Ray! Raging Cascade!
No dawn shall break
In here!
this night!
I'll be saving this one!
Ignite!
Reflect on my spirit! They smite with blackened blade!
Come forth! Holy Runner! Holy Lance!
Execution!
By the power of water! Raging Cascade!
Demon Lash! Everlasting Shock!
Arctic Waterfall!
Let's keep our eyes on the prize.
This one's tough, but we have no choice.
Let me know if you need healing.
Bloody
Stockpile!
Rising light!
Everlasting Shock! Demon Lash!
Waterfall!
Everlasting Shock! Now you see what I can do!
Annihilation!
Demon Lash! No dawn shall break this night!
Lightning!
Eagle Ray!
Lightning condemned! Thunder! That's my cue!
Soaring blast!
Shut him down!
Air thrust!
You're mine!
Action!
Without a trace!
We're not finished!
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Raging Cascade!
Shine! Radiant light! Force of regeneration! Regenerate! Allow me to help you! Everlasting Shock! No dawn shall break this night!
Freeze Lancer!
Soaring blast!
Air thrust! Hear my call!
I'll face you!
Here's evil!
Shine! Radiant light! Force of regeneration! Regenerate!
Lightning condemned! Thunderblade!
No sorrow in silence! No dawn shall break this night!
Finish it!
Here! I'm on a roll!
Double demon!
I'll face you! Not so fast! In a bind? A scream bathed in blood, rending you a bloody hole!
Radiant Astral Energy!
Say no more!
I need to be stronger.
This must be it. The entrance to the Forbidden Zone.
But it's just a wall. How do we get through?
Whoa, we? I thought this was Sovereigns only.
Alphen.
Yes! It opened!
Interesting. If Alphen's presence still opens the way, it would seem the Sovereign of 3 centuries ago and now are considered one and the same.
What?
What the?
Alphen.
You again.
Tomorrow's the spirit channeling ceremony. We'll finally play our parts as the Sovereign and Maiden. How have you been feeling?
What am I sovereign of? Shuffled from lab to lab, always treated like an experiment. Whenever they look at me, all they see is a Dahnan. I don't even know what their precious ceremony's for, let alone what they're going to force me to do as the Sovereign. Tell me, if we're both in the same boat, why do you seem so calm right now?
No choice. Becoming the Maiden's not something I wanted for myself. But they said Rena's prosperity depended on it. How could I say no after that?
Still, as a Renan, at least you got to decide. Good for you. Meanwhile, I was taken from my homeland. You aren't the captive one here.
It isn't right what they did to you, and I'm sorry for what it's worth. When this is over, I swear I'll help you get home. I can't do this alone. One more day.
How could I say no to that? It's not like I have any choice in the matter anyway. So, what's your name?
It's Naori. Naori Imeris. Try to remember this time.
You don't act like them. Like the other Renans, I mean. How come you treat me like a person?
Because you are. It's true we come from different worlds. But neither one of us asked to be here right now. In that sense, you and I are much the same. We couldn't do this. We wouldn't be able to talk to each other as people if we didn't see the humanity in each other. So I suppose the question you should be asking is, why wouldn't I treat you like one?
You're not like the others.
Maybe they're not like me.
Here's what we'll do. We give them their damn ceremony. You get me to Dahna. That'll be the end of it. I'm taking you at your word on this. I'm trusting you, not them. Naori.
What the hell just happened?
That vision. Did everyone else see it too?
That person Alphen was speaking to, she looked exactly like Shion.
It was Naori. Naori Imeris. Isn't that right?
Yeah, that's right.
She really does look like Shion. I'm beginning to see why Alphen was so confused.
That's all very well and fine, but what did we just witness exactly? It was too real to be a mere hallucination.
It was a conversation we had 300 years ago. The night before the ceremony.
You mean all of that really happened? We just saw an episode straight out of your past?
But how is that even possible? Unless... Could this be the Red Woman's handiwork too?
No, I don't think so.
Why not?
You guys didn't feel it? The moment the entrance opened, it was like a stream of Danan astral energy rushing over us.
I felt it too. And not for the first time either. It was the same sensation as back inside the wedge.
That would make sense. After all, vast amounts of Dana's astral energy were being siphoned and sent up here to Lenegus. For all we know, perhaps we're close to the spot where all that energy was stored.
So you think it might have been the energy itself that was responsible for that vision we just saw? But how? And why?
We have no way of knowing. Maybe it's not even as deliberate as all that.
Shion, you okay?
Yeah, it was all just a little sudden. That's all. So that was my ancestor, huh? It was like looking into a mirror.
Yeah, there certainly is a resemblance.
What about you? How are you holding up?
Me?
Even putting aside the question of where that vision came from, it's likely we'll see more of those. Reliving painful episodes from your past. Do you think you can handle it?
I can't just pretend like the past never happened. Besides, if it helps us uncover the truth of what that ceremony really was, it might also lead to answers about your thorns.
Alphen.
That's not all. This whole time, we've been fighting to free Dana from the Renans. But now that we're here, it seems those same Renans might have it just as bad. I'd like to liberate them too if I can. Which is just another reason I can't afford to shield my eyes from the truth.
Whether you're on Dana or somewhere else, you always stay the same. Your indignation and righteous passion, your desire to free and protect, they're all hardwired into you. Not that I'm complaining. Come on, let's bust this thing wide open.
Nobody's here.
Stay sharp. After that last illusion, there's no telling what could happen in here.